Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you are new to our channel, my name is Alyssa and this is Britton, and here we talk about comics. So if you're not already subscribed to our channel and you've been watching our videos for a while, please hit that subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds. So today we are going to show you guys what we got for comics for the week, and also we're going to do some reviews like we always do. So obviously we uploaded on Wednesday and today is Sunday, so we're doing 2 videos this week. And if you haven't watched our last video, it was an unboxing, and we'll have that link down below so you guys can watch it. So for comics this week, we have a lot because we went to a few different places, or Britton went to one place and then I went to another place, and then we got some other comic books, but we'll get into that. Anyways, so what we got from our comic store this week for new comics was...
We got Earth to Society number 11, Moon Knight number 1, Harley Quinn and Gang of Harleys number 1, Red Wolf number 5, Daredevil number 2, All New All Different Avengers number 8, Red Hood and Arsenal number 11, the John Romita Jr. variant cover. Then we got the All New All Different Avengers number 8 Civil War variant cover. Guardians of the Galaxy number 7, Starfire number 11, All New Inhumans number 6, Spider-Gwen number 7. And that's all we got from that comics from our comic store.
I went to basically really northern Washington, basically Canada, because I had to go with one of my friends. She got a traffic ticket, so I had to go up with her for her court appearance and do all that. So I said, okay, part of the condition of me coming is that I have to stop by a couple of comic stores. So I didn't stop in Seattle like I wanted to. I was going to, but then the traffic was just bad. So we stopped in Tacoma and another comic store. The city that we went to is Linden. If you guys have ever heard of it, probably not unless you live in Washington. But it's basically like right next to Canada. So I went to the comic store up there. I didn't see anything. I was gonna film inside of it, but I decided not to. He didn't have very many comics there, but he had a lot of like toys and stuff, but we're not really collectors of that, so nothing really stood out to me, so I didn't get anything from there. And then we stopped in Tacoma, and we stopped at the 2 comic stores that they had in Tacoma that I saw anyways. I didn't know if there was any more, but those are the only 2 that I found on Google. So the first place that I went to in Tacoma, I got 2 comics. The Firestorm, the Fury of Firestorm, the Nuclear Man number 1, first issue. And then I also got, because I didn't know that I had many copies of this one, so I got another copy of Miss Marvel number 19. So this is my 3rd copy of it now, so eventually I'll be doing giveaways of it. And then the second comic store that I went to, I got a lot more. I got the new Teen Titans, who is Wonder Girl. It is, on the first one it says part 1 of 4, but it's 5 issues. I guess I haven't like researched it at all, but maybe after the first issue they decided to extend it for 1 more issue, because all the rest of the issues say of 5. So I got number 1, number 2, number 3. They didn't have number 4, so I'm gonna have to look it up online. And then I got number 5. And then I also got from there the annual New Teen Titans number 2, because it was on Britton's list that he wanted, so I got that for him. I got the new Teen Titans number 17. It just looked cool to me because Starfire is my favorite, so it is, this is it, the marriage of Starfire. I don't know, I haven't read it yet, so we'll see. And then I also got New Teen Titans number 36. It finally happened, Starfire kills. So those look like pretty interesting issues that involve Starfire, so that's why I got them. So those comic stores, they didn't have much either. The first one that's kind of like right off of the Interstate 5, if you guys are familiar to Washington at all, Tacoma area. I can't remember the name of it, but that one was really good. He had a lot of long boxes and a lot of issues. So that one was definitely better than the other one. But yeah, so those are what I got. And then Britton got another pile of comics. He'll explain those.
Alright, so I have a coworker of mine that actually said that she was getting rid of her comics. And so I was like, oh, well, okay, well, I'll take some. I didn't know what I was going to get. And so she brought them to me yesterday. And I actually was pretty happy with what she gave me. I got, they're all Batman comics, though, which is, I'm okay with. I'm okay with that. I got 3, there's Batman's Legends of the Dark Knight Halloween special. There's all 3 of them. There's Batman Ghosts and Batman Madness. I love all 3 of these covers too. The pumpkins on them and whatnot. Oh, I love it. And I got the greatest Joker stories ever told. I now don't have to go buy this one. I'm so happy. I've been wanting this. Then I got part 1 of volume 1 and volume 2 of Batman Hush, which I was super happy for. Because as actually was on my want list of Batman comics to read. But I gotta show you this before I forget. She actually gave me one that's signed by Tim Sale. You see that there in the top corner? I know it's rubbed off. It's pretty old signature, but still it's signed, which I'm always happy with. Alright, and that's what all she gave me.
Yeah.
Which was really, really nice of her.
So we got a lot of comics this week.
Yeah.
I read Black Widow and the Marvel Girls. It is just a 4-part issue, and this was written, I guess I should have looked at that before, in 2010. This series is, all 4 of the issues don't really follow exactly one story. It's all just 4 separate stories, but they all obviously include Black Widow, and she just encounters the Marvel Girls, each one by one in each story. So obviously we have 4 different Marvel Girls other than Black Widow that's involved in all these stories. So it's kind of misleading because on the first one it has like a bunch of them. It has like Spider-Woman, Enchantress, Miss Marvel, Wasp, but the only ones that are really involved are Enchantress, Miss Marvel, and the Wasp. No She-Hulk or Spider-Woman. So I don't know why they put that on the cover of the first one. Really weird. Anyway, so the first issue is just a small, it's almost like an origin story, kind of. It kind of shows how Black Widow was brought up and kind of how she gained her like tough exterior, what am I trying to say? Exterior? Yeah, tough exterior. And Enchantress is actually involved. She comes in about like halfway into the issue and like helps her along, but in the end it kind of surprised me, and you'll have to read it to find out why, but it was good. It was good. Really short. All these are really short. The second one, it involves Janet the Wasp. Some of the other Avengers kind of make an appearance in this too, like Iron Man, the Vision, Black Panther, Scarlet Witch, I think that's all of them. Yeah, they kind of make like a cameo appearance. But the one Marvel girl that especially follows her throughout the story is the Wasp. And they kind of are going throughout the story. They try and take down like Doombots, and I don't want to give away too much on all these, so I'm just gonna kind of give like brief kind of what happened. But you'll just have to read it to find out. But it's really good. And the third one, why I picked up this series in the first place. No, I'm just kidding. I like Black Widow. Miss Marvel is in the third one. And it begins, Black Widow, she gets a mission to find out kind of who Miss Marvel is. And so first thing that happens is there's an explosion in, I want to say Russia, and this building it was like in this building, and it was really badly damaged, and Black Widow is like there to help, and she tries to like rescue people, and then she discovers this like underground room, and she's like, I don't want to give away too much obviously, but it's really suspicious, and something that happens down there, or the explosion I guess, triggered something even greater to happen, or that was inevitably going to happen. So then Miss Marvel came in, and she was trying to help defeat this ultimate doom thing that was going to happen. And in the process, Black Widow kind of gets the answers that she needs, like all about Miss Marvel, what she is, whose side she's on, whatever. So it was a really good short story. And then the last one involves Storm. So this one, it involves this senator who was captured in this underground place, and the both of them, Storm and Black Widow, have to, I have something in my eye. They have to get like this mole man to help them like rescue this senator or whatever. So that one's a really good story also. So all of them are really good, and they're all completely separate from each other, no involvement whatsoever. The only thing consistent about them is Black Widow. So if you're a Black Widow fan, then you should definitely pick it up. If you are unsure about whether you want to read about the rest of the Marvel girls, like the ones that I just mentioned, all of them kind of make like somewhat of an appearance, and you can kind of gauge whether or not you would be into them or not. So I recommend that. If you are unsure about if you're a Storm fan or Miss Marvel fan, or want to know a little bit about them, then you should definitely read this. Yeah, I think it's good. I like it.
Yes.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Do it.
Do it.
Read it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it now.
Yes.
Get to the chopper.
So I'm gonna do a disclaimer. I'm gonna give you guys a disclaimer right now before his review starts. His review is more like telling a whole entire freaking story. Skip to this time that I put right here to not read his review, or to not listen to his review if you do not want to listen to a bunch of spoilers, because that's basically what his review is going to be, is basically telling a story. So don't worry, after this video I will definitely teach him the difference between doing a review and telling a whole god dang story. Enjoy at your own risk. Okay, now Britton, your turn.
My turn. Yeah, my turn. War of Kings. If you guys haven't read it, go pick it up now and read it. Okay.
So I'll tell you why.
Yeah. But it's really, really, really good Inhuman based comic, and it should be like, if they do decide to do another Inhuman movie later on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I believe that they should use this storyline. It is fantastic. But anyways, on to my review. It starts off with the Starjammers running away from a Shi'ar super destroyer, and they're trying to get to Crystal, one of the Starjammers' weddings. And so what they have to do is, as they're running away, they go to the home planet, the Inhuman home planet, and with the Kree, but they barely make it in there. The force field falls down. It's just like one of those little moments that you see in a lot of other things too. They barely get through that force field, and the force field barely collapses in and destroys the super destroyer. But as they find out, Crystal's about ready to marry Ronan the Accuser, who is one of the biggest villains out there as of right now with the Guardians of the Galaxy and whatnot. But as Crystal is having a talk with her sister, and Ronan walks up just to be like on the other side of this, or down below this little balcony, and he overhears Crystal talking and about being married, and she says, no, it's not about being married. This is basically a business transaction to combine the Kree and the Inhumans together to form one massive force. So what ends up happening is he hears this and he gets really upset, and he just ends up walking away with flowers in his hand. It's like ultimate just, are you serious? I'm about ready to say that I love this woman, and she just thinks this is a business transaction. And that's where and then it goes over to Vulcan and Gladiator's point of views. And they meet up with the new guardsmen and Neutron, Plutonia, Manta, Smasher, Squirm, and then you meet all of them who's about to have a big battle. They're talking about the battle that's going to happen. And so then it goes back over to the Inhuman and the Kree wedding, where you see this big old glacier that's carved into like a castle. It looks fantastic. But in the middle of this, people are trying to get to the middle of everything, and then you see a couple guardsmen following this one guy, asking, "Hey, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going, sir?" And then it actually turns out to be a shapeshifter, one of Vulcan's shapeshifters, and he turns into a suicide bomber and just blows up everything. But yeah, and then you see all this huge, massive battle. Gladiator comes down with a whole bunch, with all the the guardsmen, and just start destroying the place. So then Black Bolt, and then you see Black Bolt get all mad and goes off and takes on Gladiator. Now, if you don't know who Gladiator is, he's a Marvel Superman, is what he is. All the powers of Superman, just in Marvel. And he's purple, with a giant mohawk. Black Bolt starts to get the upper hand, and then a cheap shot from one of Gladiator's lackeys hits him with a screech to deafen Black Bolt. And then Gladiator throws Black Bolt into this tower, into this building, and then the building collapses on him. Lilandra, who is one of the other Starjammers, who's actually going to play a huge role later on in the series, is getting attacked, and Chad? Am I saying it right? So she gets attacked, and Chad tries to save her. Then he gets his arm torn off as he's trying to save her. Then Crystal gets attacked by a whole bunch of the lackeys, and then Ronan comes to save the day, but gets terribly hurt in the process. And afterwards, you see everybody like leaves after Ronan falls down. The Gladiator's like, "We're done here," and just like laser beams this one guy over here in the face and says, "We're leaving." And then you hear Medusa, and then you see Medusa and Black Bolt standing beside each other. And then Medusa yells out that the Shi'ar Empire is going to pay with blood. That's all of part 1. Part 2 is you see the use of a negabomb. A negabomb destroys planets with just one blow. Lilandra is then trying to deter Vulcan from from loving her, because Vulcan's always had a crush on her for a long time. But she's like, "No, you don't love me, blah, 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 blah." And then he goes on a little rampage, snaps on her a little bit. And then it goes back down to the Kree and Inhuman riding against each other. While Medusa and Black Bolt are trying to solve the problem, they discuss battle plans on how to combat Vulcan and his army. And they were just going to do one hard, crippling strike. That was their main thing. And then it goes back to Ronan when he's in the hospital, and Crystal's trying to go and see him. And he tells her, and she tells him that she's going to go on a mission to save Lilandra. And Ronan says, "Okay, just don't do anything stupid. I don't want to make this seem like this was a terrible idea. us getting married. And then Crystal goes off to start her mission, and she stops by and she hears the cries, and it's the Kree people. They're in a shipping dock bay, and they need help. They need medical attention, food and water. And Crystal says that, and then Crystal goes in there. She demands all the Inhumans that are around, all the Inhuman guards, to help them out, give them food, get them water, get them medical attention that they need. And then it goes to Maximus, who's like one of the main inventors. He goes into, and he makes like the sentries, the chorus sentries. So they have Black Bolt's power, and whenever they yell, they have like this it's very powerful. The sentries actually going in and fighting the Shi'ar Empire. And it's the backup group that's just blew up a planet. It's the second battle group. Then it goes into the main battle on how they're gonna get Lilandra. And so Polaris magnetizes the ship, and then at the end of issue 3, the Starjammers attack and they go to save Lilandra. Or episode 2, excuse me, not episode 3. Episode 3 is where you see the Terrigen Mist come into play or why the Kree decided to do what they did and join the Inhumans in their fight. Little do they know, though, the Terrigen Mist doesn't even affect the Kree. End of 3, you see Lily. There's a battle that goes on with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and now this with the Starjammers, and now Gladiator and Lilandra. Lilandra gives Gladiator a decision to make. Who's he gonna follow? Is he gonna follow her, or is he gonna follow a psychopath? Gladiator chooses to side with Lilandra. Number 4, this is where things start to get very interesting, and you see everybody lining up the way that they're gonna line up and fighting. You see Ronan and Chris have a little talk on the beach. Crystal decides to tell Ronan what's going on with the Terrigen Mists, and it says that, and he's like, "Oh well, I've already sided with you now. I guess I'm gonna continue siding with you until the end now." So
continue.
Bless you. You see the Starjammers. They go into like this, say, kind of like courthouse, I guess. It's like this massive thing where they have all the Shi'ar Empire in there, and they're delegating what's going to happen next, or trying to, at least. And Lilandra is actually going to try to take over with the help of the Starjammers and everybody else, and Gladiator. But the Death Commandos, which is one of the hired guns, basically, of the Shi'ar Empire, they decide to, no, that's not going to happen. Or they try to, at least. And then Gladiator gets pissed off and basically just kills all of them. All the Death Commandos. But in the end, Lilandra dies. Everything the Inhumans have been working for is now flushed down the drain. And in episode 5, this is where the final battle, everything's gonna come down to this one big fight between Vulcan and Black Bolt. Black Bolt's actually going to try to sacrifice himself into this, what they call a T-bomb. And it's going to be powered by Black Bolt's voice. When Vulcan breaks open the T-bomb, and he says to Black Bolt, "Alright, it's time to have a showdown now." And then that's all of number 5. It's just them getting the T-bomb done with Black Bolt inside of it, excuse me. And Medusa is just figuring out that Black Bolt's gonna sacrifice himself, and so is everybody else. Everybody else knows, except for Medusa. So that's, oh no! But then Vulcan just going to try to beat up Black Bolt and destroy the bomb. And in episode 6, the final battle begins. Black Bolt actually speaks. He says no, and just Vulcan's basically disintegrated into like this skeleton with a little bit of charred meat on him. Lockjaw and Crystal try to bring Black Bolt back to the Inhumans by teleporting to the T-bomb, trying to get him back on. It was all for nothing, kinda in a way, because Vulcan regenerated himself and went after Black Bolt again, grabbing him. And then Chris and Lockjaw teleport back to Medusa, and Crystal tries to tell Medusa what happens, but it was all in vain because the Black Bolt died. A lot of action, a lot of everything that you really want to see, kind of in a comic book or a movie. So, yeah, really good comic series. Definitely would read it again. So yeah, thumbs up on everything on this one.
Alright.
Yeah.
That is it for our video this week. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up if you did. And definitely subscribe to us if you're not already subscribed to us, which if you're watching this right now, why wouldn't you want to be subscribed? I mean, come on, it's comics, hello. So thank you guys for watching again, and we will see you in our next video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.